Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And today, let's find out what's been on the hook. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. It's Happy Monday today, the beginning of a new week. I hope you had a great weekend and look forward to a great weekend crafting for yourself. Do something for yourself this week. I'm working hard on my winter sweaters and I wanted to show you one that I'm wearing right now. This is on my Etsy shop and I've had a lot of people that bought this. I really like the way it looks. It's an unusual crocheted sweater, and I'll talk about the yarn that I used in just a few minutes. But later on in the show, we have several giveaways. We're going to select the Crochet Surprise winner for this week. And I have 4 magazines that I want to give away for next week. So be sure to stay tuned for that. There will be a keyword, so you'll need to know what that is. So stay tuned, and we will do that at the end of the program. Today, I want to talk about a couple of whips that I have. And I also want to take you down to my craft room where we're going to look at a finished object. So I hope you have a cup of something in your hand, coffee or tea or whatever, and you can sit back and enjoy this program. I always get a crochet project or some kind of a project, and I watch lots of YouTube videos, but I always have something going in my hands because I like to stay productive, and I'm sure y'all do too. So here we go. Today I'm wearing the Cobblestone sweater. This is what it looks like on my Etsy shop, the Cobblestone sweater. And I wanted to tell you also what it is made from because I'm working on another sweater right now out of the same brand of yarn. And this is from Love Crafts. It's called City Tweed. And this is City Tweed in the worsted weight. The sweater I'm working on now is a DK weight, but this is a worsted weight. It's a little bit heavier, very, very warm, very, very soft. I'll get up here where you can see it. This is what it looks like when it's crocheted. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's worth the money. You can sometimes find this on sale on Lovecraft, so if you want to wait for a sale, you could certainly do that. Now, I used a 24-inch wide side-to-side measurement, and if you've bought my patterns before, you'll know what that means. I tell you in there how to measure for your sweaters to be sure that they're going to fit. I put 3 to 4 inches of ease in this when I made it last year. Since last year, I have gained a few pounds, so this is a little bit tighter fit, but it still has plenty of ease. So I'm going to stand up and show you how this particular sweater fits. All right, this is the Cobblestone sweater. It was crocheted last year. I made it to fit my body last year, but I did put plenty of ease in it. I think I had 3 to 4 inches of ease. Right now I have right about 3 inches of ease in this, so I have gained a little bit of weight, but it still fits me just fine. There's plenty of room in here. It's not a tight fitting sweater. I didn't design it that way. I think it should have some ease in it, although you can put as much ease in it as you want to. You don't have to go with 3 or 4 inches of ease. I think I'm back far enough so you can see how this fits. I'll show you the back. This is what it looks like in the back, and you'll notice that the design is also from the shoulder to the hem in the back as well as the front. I didn't make a plain back. I did want to put the decorative stitches on the front. So the pattern, of course, tells you exactly how to do it. You don't have to wonder what I'm talking about. There are not a lot of abbreviations in the pattern, so I try to explain everything very easily and simply and in prose or plenty of words so that you can understand what I'm talking about. This is a really nice winter sweater. It's not as heavy as it could be because there are lots of holes. And as you know, crocheted sweaters can be very heavy sometimes if you make them in a heavier yarn. And this is a heavy yarn. This is a worsted weight City Tweed, which is wool. And it is a nice sweater. I really like it. I like the way it fits. I tried it on again this morning and I was very pleased that it still fit me. Now the sleeves are not a bell sleeve, but they're just a straight sleeve. There's no, I don't think I decreased very much in here. Maybe right in there I might have decreased. I'll have to look at the pattern and see. But this is what the sleeves look like. They're a little bit wider at the wrist and I actually did the decorative edging down here at the bottom of the sleeve. The whole sleeve is not done that way, just at the very end, so that there's not too much decorative stitching on the sweater. I did want to have some plain sleeve and then the decorative edging at the bottom. So that's how it looks. It's so comfortable. I really like it. I'll tell you what, if you spend some money on a nice yarn, now if you're allergic to wool, this is not for you. But if you spend a little money on a nice yarn and you crochet something in it, it will automatically look a little bit nicer than just a really cheap yarn. Now you can certainly start out with a cheap yarn, an affordable yarn I could call it, maybe a Red Heart, Super Saver, or something like that. And you can make blankets and all that from that. But I think when you select a sweater to make for yourself, you should try to go the extra mile to buy a little bit nicer yarn. I'm not sponsored by any of these yarn companies. None. No, if I mention a yarn, I'm not sponsored by them. But I do want you to know that I've crocheted out of affordable yarns, medium price yarns, luxury yarns, super nice yarns, and there's a difference between the affordable yarns and the super nice yarns. Now, sometimes you can't afford it. I totally get that. I used Red Heart for decades before I even started to try to use a luxury yarn. But when I had my first taste of it, I realized what the big excitement was about luxury yarns. When you crochet with them, they feel better in your hand. They look better on you. You can block the sweater. This has been blocked. You can block a sweater to make it fit just right. The yarns relax and they look beautiful on, and they're so drapey after you block a sweater. Now, I don't block all my sweaters, but this was pure wool, so I went ahead and blocked it. It's just a merino wool, but I wanted to make it look the best it could look. And I love this color. The color is Lemon Curd, C-U-R-D, Lemon Curd, in City Tweed, and I believe they still have that color. Now, last week when I went on Lovecrafts on the internet, lovecrafts.com, there was a sale on City Tweed, so of course I bought some more. I bought several of these 50-gram balls, and I had plenty of this color. This is Romance, and the color of a work in progress I'm going to show you in just a second. But the label for this particular yarn looks just like that. It's City Tweed, and it says worsted weight or Aran weight, I forget which one. And the color is Lemon Curd in 50-gram balls. So a 50-gram ball is pretty good size in the worsted, but it only comes in 50-gram balls. Now, I used about 1,000 yards to make this sweater, and 1,000 yards of worsted is about right for me in my size. I'm about a medium, and maybe my hip measurement might be a 40, and then I add, of course, ease to that. So I usually make my panels, a front or back panel, 22 to 24 inches wide, depending on how much ease I want. But I try not to make them too narrow, because it's nothing worse than making something and it's too small. You can always take up a large sweater. Like if you make the panels too large in your sweater, you can make a larger seam on the sides and bring that in an inch or two. You can do that. Or you can just make sure that you're making it the right size. Now, in my patterns, I tell you how to do that. And you don't make a mistake the first time if you measure the way I ask you to. So be sure to read that part of the pattern. And I also suggest you read all the way through the pattern to the very end and know exactly where you're going before you start crocheting one stitch. Because it's important that you get your measurements right, and then you can take off and crochet as fast as you want. And some of my sweaters are very, very easy to make. This is probably an advanced beginner, maybe an intermediate, but if you're an adventurous beginner, you could tackle this. It wouldn't be a problem at all. Sometimes you have to use crochet intuition, and I use that in my patterns every now and then, and I'll say use your crochet intuition. For example, if you're stitching a sleeve onto a sweater, say you're crocheting in the round, for example, if you've already sewn your side seam, you're crocheting in the round, then you have to use your crochet intuition in order to make your stitches right, to stitch to the body of the fabric, the body fabric. Sometimes you might put more stitches in there than you should, and when you look at it, you'll see that it clumps up a little bit, so rip it out and get it right the first row. Then count your stitches and use the same exact number of stitches over here on this side, so your sleeves will look just the same. They'll look just alike, and you won't be disappointed in your sweater. Now, I put sleeves on all kinds of different ways, but occasionally I'll say use your crochet intuition for maybe a neckline edging or something like that. If you look at it and you don't like it, rip it out. Don't continue on to finish the sweater. Try it on and say, I really don't like this. You know, you should be trying it on as you make it in the type of pattern that I write. I use flexible crochet, and in my mind that is what I'm going to call it from now on, because that's really what it is. It's flexible crochet. You can make this as big as you want, and you can also put as much ease as you want into it, so you don't have to just make the sweater and then realize that it's too small or too large. So that's the focus of my pattern, to make the garment fit you the first time. I talk about wearable crochet style. What I mean by that is crochet that you will wear, that you actually make to wear. You crochet it to wear on your body. So when you do that, you want it to fit and look professional. So that is the focus of all my patterns. So again, this is the Cobblestone. I hope you like it. I wanted to bring it out, blast from the past, blast from last year, a beautiful winter sweater. Now, the first whip that I want to talk about is a red sweater that I'm making, and I originally was going to make it like this pattern, and Crystal is modeling the pattern that I released on Thursday, and that is called the Beautiful You Pullover, and there she is wearing it. It's crocheted from Chloe yarn from Hobby Lobby. If you want to, you can go back and look at the last couple of videos that I made. I talked about that particular sweater, and it is very comfortable, very warm, and it is an affordable yarn with wool and acrylic. Very, very nice, a beautiful drape. And if you make it the way I talk about in the pattern, then you can certainly make it to look like that. It's quite beautiful. I really like it, and I've also made it in a red number 2 yarn as well. And it turned out very beautifully that way too. And in the pattern I talk about both of those sweaters, and there's some photos of each one, so you can look at that. I released that on Thursday, and if you didn't check your inbox, please do go back. If you're in the community, there's an offer code in there for you to use on any pattern in my shop, including this Cobblestone, if you want to pick it up. All right, so this is the red sweater that I'm making. Originally thought I was going to make it like that, and I'm not going to make it like that. I have decided to make it a different way. So I made the back panel straight, and I'm going to add some decorative crochet to the sides of this, but right now it's at the bottom. If you'll see that, let me hold that up. I have a few rows of decorative stitches at the bottom of the sweater, very, very subtle, but I'm going to repeat those on the sides of the sweater, around the neck, and at the bottom of the sleeves. And yes, I'm going to try to make this a long sleeve. I think I have enough yarn. Now, as you remember, when I first started this, I said I don't want to go any farther until I get the yarn. And I'd only crocheted about this much, but I went ahead and finished it because the yarn came in, and I ordered 3 of these hanks of Vitalana Dusk. That's the label on there, and it's in the Sanguine color, S-A-N-G-U-I-N-E, Sanguine color, beautiful red. That looks a little pink on my camera, but I'm not sure if it's going to turn out red on the camera, but it is red. If I hold it back here, you can tell it's really very deeply red. Beautiful red color. And I ordered 3 more of these. I had 2, so that makes 5 hanks. And on each hank is 231 yards. So I have plenty of yarn for a long sleeve sweater. This is 100% alpaca, different kinds of alpaca, and it's a DK weight. So it's got a really nice drape to it, and I'll show you that. It's got a very, very nice drape. See how when you shake it just a little, it has a nice movement to it. It's not stiff. It's very, very soft. It's very, very soft. Now, this is a luxury yarn. It's a very nice luxury yarn, and I like using the luxury yarns, especially for winter projects, because you need them to be warm, and that's what I talk about wool so much. You can certainly make any of my sweaters out of acrylic or any combination of yarns. That's not the issue. But I wanted to make this red sweater because the yarn is so squishy and so soft. This is from Knit Crate that I received in a monthly subscription box, And I received 2 of these, and I decided to go ahead and order the other 3 hanks. Now when I did, I had some points on there for being in the monthly subscription program, and this was free except for shipping. I paid $6 or $7 for shipping, but maybe $8. I don't know. It seemed like a lot, but I actually bought the yarn for $0. I used my points on Knit Crate to count against my purchase, so I got the yarn for free. Quite lovely. So I'm excited about that. Now I've started the front panel. I haven't, that was the back panel I showed you. This is the front panel. It's just like the back panel, and it's going to have a beautiful neckline and some long sleeves. So that is my current WIP work in progress, that I'm working diligently on that. I'm also working on this, and this is the Casual Cardi. That's what I'm going to call it, Casual Cardi, because this is a cardigan that is decorative all over. Oh boy, I'm ripping out my stitches there. It's decorative all over it, and you're going to do this side to side. So I have just finished the entire front panel except for the sleeve. Now let's put the sleeve in here, and it's going to be crocheted right into the fabric. So I'm excited. We're going side to side with sleeves now. So that'll be a new type of pattern for me, and hopefully you'll like it. It's a beautiful, beautiful city tweed cardi, and this is again my Casual Cardi made from city tweed in the color Romance, and beautiful, beautiful red. I am into red right now. I don't know why. I guess because Christmas is coming, and this Christmas should be a lot more fun than last Christmas because we can meet with our families and have family time and all that, and I'm excited about that. I love Christmas. I love to give gifts. Don't really love to get gifts, but I do love to give gifts, especially those that I make on my own. Not sure how much time I'm going to have this year to make all the beautiful scarves that I made last year, but I'll bring those up in another few videos, and we'll look at some gifts that you can give to your family. So you can crochet a beautiful cowl for someone and use this really nice yarn from Lion Brand. I hope they still have it, so I'll do some research and make sure all of it is available before I bring those up. But I wanted to show you those as a gift that you can give to your friends and family. Now, there are also other cowls on my Etsy shop that are very, very easy to make, and I will show you some of those as well. So one video I'll probably just dedicate to giving gifts for Christmas and show you some of the patterns that I have that you can use and the yarns that you can use to make those gifts, where it doesn't cost a fortune to give somebody a handmade crocheted cowl, a beautiful cowl, and ask them what color their winter coat is and then make it to coordinate with that. So I will try to get that video out in a couple of weeks, and we'll talk about gift giving for Christmas. Now I'm going to take you down to my craft room, and we're going to look at a finished object. Then we're coming back up here and we'll look at our next project for diamond painting. So stay with me. Here we go. Here I am down in my craft room, and I'm taking you on another trip through my crazy place down here. This is ooh, look at all that fabric over there. That was from my pouchies. I'm still working on those. And this is where I come to wind my yarn on my yarn winder and my yarn swift. That's what I use for that. It's all folded up now because I've had some family here this weekend, so I didn't really want anybody playing with my swift and my yarn ball winder. So this is my finished object I wanted to show you. This is, of course, the Cafe Terrace at Night by Van Gogh. I have completely finished this. This is a diamond painting, and I'll get down here where you can see all the resin balls. There we go. They're called drills. This is what I really like, this beautiful blue and yellow combination that the artist used. And he also went to the sky with the same color. And what I did here was I used some sparkly white drills in the stars, but you know, you can see them at certain angles, but right here you probably can't see that with regular light, but sometimes when you shine a light on them they show up better. But this is the other side of the painting with the people on the street. They showed up very nicely because this is a 45 by 60 centimeter diamond painting. Let me measure this real quick. This is a 17.5 by 23. So it's pretty good size. And what I want to do with this, and look at this beautiful cobblestone too. I thought that was really pretty. The way the diamond painting computer visual didn't look this clear, but once I did the diamond painting, it was really, really nice. All this up here, the beautiful little apartment windows, and the cafe terrace has it looks like a little awning almost that hangs over it, and there are people sitting at the table. So in a smaller diamond painting, that might not have shown up very well, and neither would these people. So I opted for a larger diamond painting so that would be beautifully rendered there. And if I get back from it a little bit, this is the full picture of it. It's still at an angle because I'm standing here trying to shoot it. There we go. Now the next step on this is to seal it with Mod Podge, and this is what I use. Mod Podge Super Gloss Brilliant 8-ounce bottle will probably cover this. It may take the whole bottle, I don't know. I would guess it will. I'll probably put the whole bottle on this because this was not a poured glue canvas. This was a double-sided adhesive canvas, and the drills tended to pop off a little bit, not too much. If I pushed them on there hard enough, they would stay. But I rolled it with a roller, and I'll show that to you in just a minute when I go back upstairs to show you my next project. But this is rolled quite often. Once I finished a square, it was about this big, about that wide, I would roll it really hard with my rollers to keep the drills on the adhesive. So that way I knew that they weren't going to pop off. And I had very few that actually popped off the canvas. So it can be done. This kind of canvas can be used, and I have several others that I'm going to be doing that I didn't realize there was a difference between the poured glue canvas. When I first started, I was ordering diamond paintings, and I didn't realize that I needed to ask if it was a poured glue canvas or if it was a double-sided adhesive. I frankly like this kind of canvas. It's clean, it's not goopy. Sometimes the poured glue is a little bit too flexible. This one, when you put a drill on there, it usually stays where you put it, and it's hard to move, so it makes you be more specific about where you place your drills. So I think that's a good thing to use a double-sided canvas. I know a lot of people hate these, but I've had nothing but great luck with mine, and I don't go through and cut that adhesive too much. I'll lay it down a little bit with my drill pen, but I don't worry about it too much. I just don't worry about it. If there's a little wrinkle in the adhesive glue, I don't worry about that too much. I just keep going and roll the drills at the end of the day. It works great for me. So what I do also is I seal my diamond paintings, and that way I can be sure that the drills aren't going anywhere. It's hard to even pop one off after you get it sealed. And then when I go to frame it, the framer doesn't have to place glass over it. I just have mine out where people can touch it, run their hand across it, and go, that is so cool. And it's not behind glass. It's sealed, and so it doesn't have to be behind glass. So let's go upstairs and look at my next diamond painting project. Well, y'all know me well enough to know that I have so many works in progress. Look at this place. It's craziness. Look. I just cleaned that off. That is my stash of yarn, and that's not all of it. Honestly, there's some other places. This is my box that I am getting ready to start knitting. And oh yeah, I know you say, yeah, Jeannie, you're really going to start knitting. But I thought I would give it a try. So I'm going to put everything about knitting in this box so that when I'm ready, I'll have my needles and all that waiting for me. This is falling over here. Let's set this up. This is another project. This is Van Gogh's irises right there. That's going to be pretty when I get to it. But my next project is Virgin of the Lilies. I can't wait to get started on this. I have it up here on my easel. Let me show you the back here. I have a lot of other stuff back here, but this is the back of the easel right there. You can see I have it on about the 3rd notch, so it gives it that nice angle that I can work with my diamond painting and not hurt my back so much. Now this is the container storage that I love, 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 okay? This is the one I'm using for my Virgin of the Lilies, and I de-kitted everything. I took all of the drills out that I had left over, and I am starting a DMC box, and this box will have all the drills that I had left over from my projects, and here it is right here on my chair. And this is how I've started working on it. This is all the drills that I had left over from Girl with the Pearl Earring, and I've labeled each one with the DMC number. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There it is, 838. I bought these numbers from the DMC company, and all the DMC numbers have a little tiny little label, and you pick the color out that you have left over and you place it on a Ziploc bag, which are right here. I have a whole lot of Ziplocs in there. I place the number on the Ziploc, and then I pour the drills that I had left over into this particular bag, and there they are. And then if I ever need them again, I will have them. So I de-kitted this Girl with a Pearl Earring from this bead storage tray. They call it bead storage, but I use it for diamond painting. And let's just scroll over here. This is my Virgin of the Lilies. It's huge. It is 31 by 47. I have the notes right here. And it's 2.5 feet by 4 feet. So it's 2.5 feet wide and 4 feet going back this way long. And it's 20 by 80 centimeters and 54 colors. So I have this ready to go. I have my corner piece that I've cut. And what I do is I just cut the cover. I cut it up there, and then I fold it. And then when I want to work on a square, here's a square right here. Now this is my first square that I'm going to work on. And this is actually a lot of color blocking, and there's not a lot of confetti, which slows me down terribly. So that looks like one of the flowers or something there. But anyway, that's where I'll be starting probably this evening when I work on my project. Here are all the colors that are in this particular diamond painting, and they're huge. It's huge. It's a huge painting, so it has a lot of diamond drills. Look at that. I have 3 of these bags, and I will kit this up. And what I'll do is I will kit it into this. This is the storage unit that I just de-kitted, they call it, in the diamond painting world. That means taking out your drills, and I'm just leaving the numbers on here as they are, and those numbers will correspond to this, and this is the sheet that came in the diamond painting. There's a picture of what it's going to look like. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I know exactly where I'm going to hang this, but it's beautifully done by Bergerot is the name of the artist that did this, and it's a famous painting. So what I'm doing is I'm going to kit this up. Here are all the bag numbers, the DMC numbers, how many drills there are. Look at that, 1,308 drills for number 1, 1,122 drills for number 2. So, and of course number 6 is 34,914 drills. Okay, I mean, that's blowing my mind right now, but I'm going to pursue it. I'm sure that I can finish it. If I can do the others, I can do this one. So this is the sheet that comes with it, and of course it goes on and on and on for 54 colors, and I will place some of all of those colors in here, and they'll of course be nice and organized when I get to it. Some of these boxes are larger than others. For example, this box holds quite a few drills, and I will take the numbers that you just saw. Let me show you right here how I did it. the numbers that you just saw that have so many drills, like number 6 there has 34,914 drills. That is one that will go into one of these larger containers. Of course, I'll have some left over, and I'll just put those in a bag somewhere and then pull them out as I need them. But I'm going to put a substantial number into this box, and then I'll have some left over, of course, and I'll replenish it as I work across the diamond painting. But I just wanted to show you that. This is a wonderful way to start your painting. Now, these little boxes are so easy to open. This is number 32, for example. And you just pop the side up, and the whole top comes up like this. Trying to get that with one hand. It pops, the side pops up like that, and see, there's enough room for plenty of drills in there, and you can actually just reach in there with your drill pin. If you just need 1 or 2, you can do that, or you can pour these into a little tray, and then when you go to pour them back in here, the ones you don't use, it's very easy to get them back in because the opening is so large. Look at that. It's a large opening on there, so it's easy to put drills into this particular type of storage, and they snap nicely together. And then when you go to pick them out of the box, I think I've shown you this before, but it has a little finger holders on the top, so you don't have to work yourself to death trying to get those out of there. This is really easy to use. I hope you can see this. I'm trying to get close enough so you can see, but this has a little place that you grab it like that. You you turn it around, then you flip it up with your fingernail and open it at the top. It opens so beautifully. I really like these. Some of the bead storage has tiny little opening on the top, and when you go to pour your beads back in, it goes everywhere. The beads go everywhere, and I'm bad about spilling beads. So I also wanted to say, on that Cafe Terrace at night that I diamond drilled, I ran out of 3 colors. I ran out of 3 colors, completely out. I don't know why. I didn't do any spillage of those. They just did not send me enough. And rather than call them or write them and try to get somebody to send me more drills, what I did was I just borrowed from the DMC colors that I had that were similar right there. I went to my box and I found a color that was similar to it, and I just used that instead of spending time trying to get them to send me more drills. So I didn't want to do that. So that's where I am right now. I'll be kitting this up tonight and tomorrow and getting ready to start my brand new diamond painting. And I'll of course keep you up with the progress that I make on it. I'm just really excited. It's a huge painting, and the framer will have to adhere this to a large board and then frame it, because if you don't, then it just slides down. You have to adhere it to a large board, and that way it will stay intact. So that's an added expense, but it's worth it when you do a diamond drill painting this large. It's very wonderful to go ahead and spend a little money on your framing. So that's the progress that I have made. Not much on this one, but I wanted to show you that my finished object and also my next diamond painting project. So excited. Now for the giveaway portion of my program. This is Crochet Surprise. This is the monthly subscription box that I give away free every single month to a lucky winner. And I wanted to show you what was in this real quick before I give it away. Now, this Crochet Surprise is about trivets, and a lot of you said you wanted to learn to make a trivet. It's not hard at all, and I looked at the instructions on this. It's involved, but it's not hard to do. It's just a lot of little steps, and I think you would really enjoy making these. This is the Plump Pumpkin Trivet, and that's what it looks like right there. Let me see if I can do this without shaking. There we go. And there's enough yarn in here to make an orange one and a white one. And let me show you the yarn. This is the sugar and cream yarn and the different colorways. And of course this is ecru. This is the primary one here. This is the color of one large trivet. And the other large trivet is this orange, and I think, yeah, it's hot orange. Woo, that's hot. About blew out my camera there. That's hot orange right there. Beautiful, beautiful colors that they've put in this particular crochet box. Beautiful colors that they've put in this Crochet Surprise box. Now, I want to give this away to a very lucky winner. So what we're going to do is turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins this today. Here we are at the computer, and there is the URL from I think it was 2 videos ago where I talked about the Crochet Surprise. I also released a video on last Thursday, so if you haven't seen that, you might want to go back and look at it. But this is where I introduced the Crochet Surprise. The keyword is trivet, T-R-I-V-E-T. So let's go down and find out how many people signed up for this. This was a fun box. This is a fun box you can use for a gift or for yourself. And there were 344 people signed up for this. Great. Thank you so much for participating. Y'all are the very best. Y'all are the best people in the world. I love you all. All right, here we go. Whoops, sorry about that. Suzanne Williams. Suzanne Williams, you are the winner of the Crochet Surprise box. Here's the word trivet in her comments. So Suzanne Williams, and there's a picture of Suzanne probably right there, I'm guessing. Yes. Suzanne, you have won the Crochet Surprise box. Congratulations. One thing I did not mention is that this particular Crochet Surprise box comes with the pumpkin spice beautiful soy candle. I think it's going to smell wonderful. Suzanne, congratulations. You have won the Crochet Surprise box. So I'm going to pack that up and send that off to you as soon as I receive your mailing address. So be sure to send that to me and I will get that off to you right away. Okay, for next week, our giveaway is going to be 4 magazines, brand new magazines that I have received, and I am going to pass on to some lucky gift winners. So I'm excited to do this. I actually had a couple of these in my box over there, and I had forgotten to introduce them. And then the other 2, I'd forgotten to introduce those. I don't know where I was this year. But this is the August edition of Crochet World. I think I already gave one of these away, but I have more than one subscription. So when they come in, I give them right out. And I'm just thrilled to do this. It's not expensive for me to send them to you in a nice envelope. And that way you can win something that is worth probably, I don't know, this is $6. So I can send this to you and you can enjoy it. Use some of the patterns in there. Look through it. Enjoy looking at crochet projects. I love to do that. That's one of the favorite things that I like to do. So this is the August 2021, and it says moving into fall. I'm a little late getting this out, but those are some beautiful things that you can make from this particular magazine, and the patterns are right in here. So that will go to giveaway winner number 1. Giveaway winner number 2 will receive Defining Crochet magazine, and this is for the month of September. This has been sitting in over there too long, about a month. This is the Crochet magazine. Now I did give one of these away, and I got another one in the mail, and I just set it right over there in my box and forgot to enter it into the giveaway. So this will go to the next winner. The giveaway winner number 2 is the Crochet magazine for September. Now for December of 2021, I just received this one in the mail, and this is Festive and Delicate. Some beautiful, beautiful patterns. Look at that. Oh man, so gorgeous. And there were a couple of patterns in here I wanted to show you. Now, speaking of kitchen gifts, like those trivets in the Crochet Surprise box, this is the Harmony Bowl, beautiful Harmony Bowl, and this is crocheted in let's see, they're using a DK weight yarn, and I'm not sure how they get it to stand up. I think they make a double layer, a dark layer and a light layer, and then they join them, and when you put those together, they stand up very nicely. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That is a nice gift for someone, called the Harmony Bowl. And then I wanted to draw your attention to another gift, and this is the Hang in There dish towel. Hang in There dish towel, and this is a type of dish towel that you roll over the oven handle, and then you stick it back into itself, and it stays on there without rolling off all the time. So you can wipe your hands on it or whatever, and it will stay right there on your oven handle. So I just thought that was an interesting idea. Let me show you that again. This is what it looks like. And there's another version of it in a decorative edging right there. Oh, so cute. Oh, so cute. Think of that for a gift. Just make one. Make one for someone in the colors of their kitchen. I just think that's so cute. But anyway, this will go out to a lucky winner next week, December of 2021, Crochet World. Love this magazine. There are always so many beautiful patterns in there. So that will be the third magazine that goes out next week to a winner. And then the next winner will receive the Cross Stitch magazine. And of course, this is up to you if you want to be in the running for this. The word is cross for the keyword. And the other keyword for all these magazines that I showed at first is crochet. Just use the word crochet in your comment and you'll be in the running for that. But if you want the Cross Stitch magazine, be sure to use the word cross, C-R-O-S-S, in your comment and you will be in the running for this magazine. And don't sign up for it if you don't want it. I mean, if you have somebody you can give it to, even better, or if you want to use it on your own. But I just wanted to give you the opportunity to not be in the running for that so that others who do cross stitch or know someone who cross stitches, they can give it to them. Maybe for Christmas if you want to. Anyway, this is the Cross Stitch magazine for December of 2021. Drawing your attention to this thankful heart. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. I just love that. And I have talked about this before. This is the thankful heart cross stitch pattern, and it is some little birds and trees and things like that. It's so cute. I really, really like it. And it's looks like it's fairly easy to do. It's not all, every stitch covered. It's just a little design on looks like Ada or some other kind of fabric. I really like that for Thanksgiving. And then the nativity sampler. I don't know what happened to my video about this. I thought that I talked about this before, so you can correct me if you want to. That's okay. But the nativity sampler is all the different ideas about Christmas, all the cute little things that they've got on here. It's pretty whimsical. It's not all serious and everything. Let me get this up here where you can see it. This is, of course, Mary and Joseph, the baby Jesus, and then the angels and the shepherds and everything that has to do with the Christmas story. And so there's the star up there at the top. Isn't it cute? And I thought, for a little project for Christmas, that is cute. And then you can just hang it up or put it on a pillow even. You can make a pillow out of that very easily. One of those vertical pillows that I talked about in my couple of videos ago, we talked about vertical pillows and how they're interesting. They're not squares. And I think you'd probably have to stuff it with some polyester stuffing. But still, I mean, I guess there are pillow forms that are rectangles, and you can just turn it this way and make sure you've got room for your nativity sampler or whatever you want to cross stitch on there, and then you'd have it. So anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. This is, of course, December of 2021, and use the word cross right there. Use the word cross in your comment, and you'll be in the running for this magazine next week. Well, I'm going to leave that right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to mix it up. I took you to my craft room. We did some giveaways and some works in progress, what I'm wearing. All these things are included in my videos. So if you like that, please hit the like button. I appreciate it so much. And it tells YouTube that they're able to send it to someone who might like this content. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I know that a couple of videos ago, I gave away a Afghan kit, and it was the Persian Tiles Afghan from Mary Maxim to a lucky winner, and I sent that to her. Teresa Magruder, I believe is her name. I'm sorry, I don't have it right in front of me, but I sent that the very next day. I had a box ready for it and everything, so I hope that you've received that. And I have another similar prize that I'm going to give away in a short time from now. I have something else I want to announce, so I'm going to do that in conjunction with the announcement that I have. So I want to do that. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it and come back again and see me. I don't know when I'll be back, at least by next Monday. So join me then to find out what's on the hook.